Hello One Piece nerds, welcome back to another video. Today let us talk about the Knighted Scabbards. So, if you guys are following the raid, if you've caught up to chapter 1050, the battle between Luffy and Kaido is officially over. Kaido is defeated, Luffy is declared the victor, and the arc is presumably at its end. So, a lot of us, including myself, had a problem with a few fake outs when it comes to the Knighted Scabbards. Granted, maybe Ashura Doji is dead. Kanjiro is most likely also dead. But Kinemon having all that done to him, Okiku on near death's door, presumably they're definitely alive from the looks of it. And the question is, why were they left alive? For what reason do you think Oda thought about keeping them alive until the end of Wano without them having to do anything significant? Maybe the fact that they haven't done anything significant is because Oda didn't particularly plan out anything for them. They weren't supposed to be the main attraction of the arc. They weren't supposed to be the pillars that we stand upon when it comes to representing Oden. Maybe the person representing Oden as a follower, as a role model, like as an apprentice or whatever, is Momonosuke himself. I think the emotional point is Momonosuke himself. That will follow Oden's footsteps, that will live up to the expectation of Lord Oden, who has been one of the greatest leaders born in Wano, and one of the greatest figures born in One Piece history. So, that's beside the point. But the point of today's video is, why were they kept alive? The Knighted Scabbards, from start to finish, they're the only purpose of the Knighted Scabbards, from the looks of it, from what it seems, and the baseline, is the fact that they started the war. They started the raid. They officially were the first ones to attack Kaido and declared the war that happened in Onigashima. And yes, that is true. But is that at all? Is that really all? And they've been living up to the expectation. We've been set standards that they want to follow in Oden's footsteps. They want to become Oden in a way. They want to live up to the expectation of Lord Oden and wants to, be worthy followers of Oden, the great leader having a great apprentice or a great group or whatever you call it. That's what they want it to be, but it seems as though that is not the case. So, why are the Scabbards kept alive, and what is their importance in the future of Wano or in the future of One Piece? If you've seen the last panel of chapter 1050, you see that Denjiro now declares the new shogun, which is most likely either going to be Momonosuke or Hiyori. I would say Momonosuke. Anyways, that's beside the point. But Momonosuke, let's say, is the new shogun. So what now? What now? If it's going to be Momonosuke, he's definitely not going to join the Straw Hats. And for the sake of it, let's say it's Hiyori. If it's Hiyori, the fact still remains that there will be a new shogun of Wano, and the shogun of Wano needs retainers. So, from what the looks of it is that we now have a new shogun at our hand. Whether it be Hiyori or Momonosuke, we now have a new shogun in Wano who is going to have to govern the whole thing, and he or she needs retainers. That being the Knighted Scabbards. Granted, Ashura Doji may be dead, Kanjiro may be dead, but the others are still here. You don't need all 9 followers to, be complete. Maybe Ashura Doji was also a fake out. But the point of my saying this is that I feel like they were only left for the purpose of becoming retainers of the next shogun. Now, why is that so important? Why is that so important in order to, complete, quote-unquote, their characters for Wano? It is likely that we're going to be seeing them in the near future, maybe in the final war. But for now, how is it going to complete their character arc? For every single arc, for every single side character, or the main character, or the main focus of the arc, the people in the arc, like for example, Rebecca, Kuros, and then Vivi, and everyone else, everyone had their characters completed with something that completed them. Either them realizing their goals, or them realizing their responsibilities towards the place they're staying, or towards something that they wanted to focus on. So how does it complete the 9 Red Scabbards? It doesn't. The 9 Red Scabbards are not complete until Momonosuke finally, Momonosuke or Hiri, until the Shogun is finally able to, rebuild Wano and get it back to its former glory, the way Oden did, the way Oden's father did. And that is the point where we will understand, and if Momonosuke or Hiyori becomes that important figure or that strong shogun that everyone looks up to and is apparently a born leader, that is the point where they will understand their goal and realize it, that they've actually done it. They've lived up to Lord Oden's expectations. They're truly worthy of becoming retainers of Lord Oden, and they have finally granted themselves that opportunity to show that they're actually worth something. So why does it need to be? Couldn't have been? Could there have been any other possibilities? Not really. If you think about it, from what it seems, the arc is over. Oda probably didn't find anything interesting to do with the Scabbards. Granted, Oda is a very good writer. He knows his story better than I do. But sometimes the writers don't actually know what to do with some of the characters. There are cases also in One Piece where some characters are just left behind, not being recognized, although they should have been. It's not possible to complete every character arc, and that is probably the same for the Scabbards. Or maybe Oda planned the Scabbards to have their destiny planned to something like this, that yes, they have failed to take down Kaido. They have failed to kill Kaido in the name of Lord Oden. They failed to live up to the expectation of the retainers of Lord Oden. But now they can redeem themselves by allowing the next shogun, the son and daughter of Oden, to proclaim the throne of Wano and help him or her rebuild Wano and become that great retainer that they always wanted to be to Lord Oden. That is it for today's video, honestly. I don't know what else to say. It's just that I wanted to make sure that everyone understood that maybe this is what their purpose is. I'm trying to shed a new light on what could be their character rather than, a possibility of them doing something greater, something more grander in terms of the whole scheme. Maybe their character arcs were not supposed to be that important, but we took it to be important. And that maybe Oda definitely did make a mistake here and there because of the fact that he couldn't actually portray them well. I like them as characters. Every one of them are very great are very good characters individually, but as a group, they don't really intrigue me. They don't really intrigue a lot of us. But maybe they will intrigue us later down the line when the next shogun of Wano is finally standing strong and he or she has retainers that are great as well. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, please make sure to like and subscribe. Until next time, peace.